this session is to take you through multi-jump routines and triple jump teaching progressions. Okay. Now I want to say a couple of things philosophically about the way I teach the triple jump to emerging level people. Okay. This is not just developmental people, but even emerging elite level people. When I coach the triple jump, the thing that's probably the most important to me, as I stated in our technique talk, is the alignment of the pelvis. And that's basically the whole essence of coaching the triple jump, is keeping the pelvis aligned through 3 phases without any significant forward or anterior rotation of the pelvis. If we keep the pelvis in alignment and we've run pretty well and developed velocity, we're going to jump fairly well. So that is also the hallmark of the basic framework of how I teach the event and how I develop teaching progressions. Generally speaking, when humans operate, okay, we're very good at horizontal components. You know, we're good at pushing horizontally. So I work very hard at developing the vertical components. And generally speaking, with all jumpers, even the elites, I probably work vertical aspects more than I work horizontal because they're not as innate. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know if it has to do with, you know, anatomy or evolution or what, but we seem to be innately good at horizontal stuff and poor at vertical stuff. Now, so I work hard on vertical things. Now, getting back to what I was saying earlier about teaching the triple jump, posture is important. And generally speaking, when you jump horizontally, conserving posture is difficult. When you jump vertically, conserving posture is fairly easy. So what I tend to do is, in a real general sense, progress over time when I teach bounding skills from vertical to horizontal. You know, so just so that we start with easy postural maintenance and then make it more difficult over time. Now, that's generally speaking what I do. Now, more specifically, what I will do is I will start off the training year doing very remedial horizontal work, very remedial stuff. The reason is because, you know, postural maintenance is difficult, so I keep the stuff real simple. On other days, I will do large volumes of vertical stuff. And then over the course of time, the horizontal stuff becomes more difficult and the vertical stuff becomes more horizontal. And that's how I progress it. And what I'm going to do with you today is, first of all, I'm going to take you through my basic horizontal jumping routines. Then I'm going to show you the vertical bounding series that I use and how I use those to progress into actual horizontal bounding. And then we'll talk about triple jump specifics afterwards, okay? So let's move over here toward the pit. Okay. The first horizontal jump series that I have is very simple. It consists of 4 exercises. The first one is a standing long jump. So I'm going to get these guys to demonstrate, and I'm going to try to point out some key coaching points that you can use. You do a standing long jump for me, please? Just a normal landing, yeah, whatever you would normally do. Now, hold on one second. One key thing for me personally is when I have athletes do a standing long jump, I want them to put their toes a little over the edge. A little more than that. Just a little more still, okay? And the reason is, if the toes are over the edge, the ankle can work through a full range of motion. So I actually allow them to cheat a little bit so that the leg can fire correctly in the way it's intended. So go ahead and do a standing long jump. And that wasn't bad. The chest dropped a little bit and the arms blocked a little low. When I teach the standing long jump, I look for a long, full extension of the arms, you know, without any flexion there. And I want blocking about the height of the shoulders, so parallel to the ground at the finish, okay? Okay, that was a little flat and a little low. Okay, so keep the chest up. Basically, the attitude of the chest that you see in the loading up position is the same attitude of the chest that you want to keep throughout flight. That was very good. That's pretty good. A little bit too much head drop and butt out at the landing, but it wasn't bad. Okay, now that's a key point here. Is a lot of times when kids do standing long jumps, they try to rush. It's not about how fast the whole thing happens. To jump further, it actually takes more time. So somebody that makes a mistake like you just made, I would actually tell you to feel slower throughout the course of the jump, and you'll actually jump a little further. Why don't you jump up there and try it? Yeah, you should always get a feeling that a standing long jump is relaxed. Okay, and that's one of the things that you battle in teaching all of these multi-jump routines is kids that just want to try to feel fast. Okay. Cool. That was very good. Okay. See, that was much better and much more relaxed. Okay, now the next exercise in this series is going to be 3 hops in a row. Why don't you line up about where that second hurdle is there? Okay, and all I want you to do is 3 hops. And I want you thinking more up than out. The reason I'm telling them more up than out is, generally speaking, kids tend to jump out too much and they end up stumbling through the jumps. Whenever, and you have kids that do that, whatever the multi-jump routine might be, they stumble, get over-rotated, and so forth. Anytime I see over-rotation and forwardness or stumbling, I always cue them to jump more vertically. Okay? So I just want you to do hop, hop, and then in the sand for me. Good. Now the landings were a little overactive. Okay, what I want you to do is a little softer on the ground, and I want to make sure that you're feeling flat-footed contacts. Okay. Flat-footed contacts are what we're always looking for. Go ahead and give it a try. And that's very good. Nicely done. And that was very good. You guys are well coached. Good. Great. Okay, you can hold it up. So in these exercises, this is where I begin working on strong arm swing and foot contacts. And again, typically, even though it's a horizontal exercise, I'm always cueing the vertical component. And what I typically talk to these athletes about is trajectory. And I'll get to that a little bit more when I start looking at the horizontal stuff that we're doing, that's a single leg format. Now we're going to move into that stuff now. Okay, I want y'all guys to do a standing triple jump for me. A standing triple jump for me is a double leg start, then go right, left, and in the sand. Or left, right, and in the sand, whichever you prefer. Okay. You probably line up about right here, I would say. Double leg start, right, left.
Well, if I'm a left.
You can go left, right.
Left, right?
It's up to you. I don't. It doesn't matter to me which leg you use first. You use your preference. Okay. Okay. And what I would like you to do is land this way. Now, that's a key point. What I do is, when we're doing this early season preparation stuff, I always make sure the athletes actually land on both legs. And that's just kind of conditioning the knees and the hips to take impact so that when we actually start landing later, they're somewhat prepared. Okay? All right. Go ahead and give it a try. That wasn't right. I'd want one leg and then the other leg. Okay? No repeats. Okay, would you land them, please? Again, just land double leg, yeah. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is 2 things. First of all, I coach trajectory a lot on this particular exercise. And conceptually, what I'd like these guys to do is try to jump out on the first one and then create lift, in other words, go more vertical so that there's actually ascending trajectories. Each phase has a higher angle of takeoff than the one before it. I'm looking for good heel-toe types of rolling contacts, and I'm also looking for low knees. I don't want them to pick up the knees real high. Remember, when you lift the knee real high, not only are you invoking the body's flexion reflex, and we have a tendency to drop the hip out, but the preparation of the quadricep muscle is important prior to impact. So if the knee is up, then the knee is flexed, then the quadricep muscle is relaxed, and sometimes it doesn't turn on quick enough to protect the knee at impact. So I'm typically teaching low knees in those types of situations, okay? All right, so same stuff, and just keep the knees a little lower. Okay, that wasn't bad. We're still not forgetting to land, but other than that, we're okay. Okay, and also softer contacts. Okay, there was a little bit too much grabbing there for me. I would like soft, quiet contacts. Okay, to me that was okay, except I thought the knee lift was excessive. Low knees, high hips, low knees. That was pretty good. There was a little bit of overreaching, and you kind of got stuck there on that last one. Okay. I'm always talking to them also about never gain distance by reaching. Always place the foot underneath and push. So it's the same kind of thing we teach in sprinting. Constantly pushing, not pulling. Okay, one more time.
I'm not sure how to do a softer touch.
Make it quieter. And don't overthink it. Just try it. You did it. Good shot. Knees are still a little high though, okay? Remember guys, as you move through this, feel high hips and low knees, okay? I want you jumping, I don't want you jumping like a soldier. I want you jumping this way, okay? Conceptually, that's basically what you're trying to do. You ever see those Frankenstein movies where the monster does this? Jump like Frankenstein. That's a little better. All right, still forgetting to land, but that was better. Now, you see how he stumbled and was over-rotated here? What I would do with him is on the next one, I would cue him to jump more vertically here. Anytime I see over-rotation in a phase in the standing triple jump, I always teach or cue more vertical push-offs, okay? So jump out on number 1, up on number 2, up on number 3. That was really good, and the catch right here was excellent. The knee position that you wanted, that's about what you're looking for there. Okay, we'll go one more. Good. Okay. All right. All right. Now the next exercise I'm going to take your guys out is what we call a double-double. A double-double to me is a right-right, left-left, or a left-left, right-right. And this is the exercise where I really start teaching true triple jump mechanics. Because it's more extended, we have more of an opportunity to teach free leg positioning, free leg swing, and some of these other variables. Okay? Can y'all do that for me? From a standing start, either right-right, left-left, or left-left, right-right, whichever is your preference. Guess we better back up, huh? Yeah, use this board. Still a little close. Need to back up just a little more. Okay, you're a little close too. So let's make sure we're back enough where we can get 2 rights and 2 lefts in, okay? Yeah, I'm going to kind of get a feel for these guys for 1 rep, and then we'll start talking about what their issues are and problems are and so forth, okay? All right, guys, go ahead. Okay. Softer contacts. See, that wasn't bad. The stumbling that you're getting periodically is from overreaching with the right foot. You have a tendency to try to grab with it. Just put it underneath you, okay? Remember, we're not trying to grab, we're not trying to claw, we're just trying to push against the ground. The whole idea is pure vertical pushing. You see, guys, conceptually, what you're trying to do is I want you to try to jump out on that first phase, and from every one after that, I want you working up as much as you can. Okay, that wasn't bad. Now, again, low knees throughout the phases. Now, if you notice when he made the switch from right to left, the knee went up abruptly, the hip retreated, and there was almost no projection at that point. So can you do that for me? Okay? High hips, low knees. Now, you see, the rights were very good. The lefts were overactive. Okay, so quit trying to grab so much with the left and just take what you get. Softer lefts, okay? And that's not unusual. Different jumping qualities on different legs. You saw how it just fixed all the postural stuff going into the pit completely? That was very good. That's a good model. That's a little better, still kind of overdoing the knees. Sometimes when I have people that are having problems keeping their knees low, I start talking about keeping the hips high, okay? So that's what I want you to really focus in on, hip projection upward out of each phase, okay? Okay. Still a little overactive. If you'll notice on the first couple of takeoffs with the left, there was a lot of real active pulling and grabbing. I want it to be calmer and more relaxed. No, just softer, okay? Just softer and more relaxed, okay? Just don't try as hard. A little bit of an overreach caused that drag, but it wasn't bad. That was better. Now, the thing I get from him is weak pushing, meaning that he's really quick off the ground and not pushing completely. That's a good start, though, okay? Just keep working on that. Now, just a second, guys. One of the things that you're constantly having to talk to jumpers about when you teach multi-jump routines is staying relaxed. And that's one thing that none of these guys really quite have, unfortunately, just yet. You need to convince them that when you're jumping really well and jumping far, it just feels easier. You know, and sometimes people get addicted to certain temporal patterns, certain rhythms, you know, and fast rhythms. And when they want to jump further, they try to go faster. It's just the opposite. You know, I talk to my jumpers all the time, and it's a simple thought process, you know. Do you want to jump far or short? I want to jump far, coach. Okay, if you're going to jump further, is it going to take more time to get there or less? More? Well, if it's going to take more time, is it going to feel slower or faster? It's got to feel slower. And that's one of the things that you as a triple jump coach have to understand, and it's difficult to convey to the athletes, but they eventually have to get it, is that as they improve, things don't feel faster, they feel slower. And that's a key concept. And when you're coaching the triple jump, that's a huge thing. The whole idea of rhythmic shifting is an important thing to work with. I'm getting a little off the path here, but I think it's important to address. I talk to my athletes a lot about slowing down on the board. And when I say slow down on the board, I don't mean that they actually physically slow down, but there's a rhythmic slow down on the board. You see, they're coming down the runway and there's a real fast rhythm to the run. And then suddenly you're asking them to go to a longer extended rhythm in the phases. So there has to be a rhythmic slowdown. That's why that whole displacement idea on the board is so important. It slows everything down from a rhythmic standpoint. So they have to understand that there's going to be a contrast there. And the battle that you're going to have in coaching really good triple jumpers is that in a competition, the contrast is even greater than it is in a meet. What I mean is, in practice, you've got a practice run that has a particular rhythm, and the phases have a slower rhythm. Well, in the meet, the run rhythm is even faster. And they're jumping further, so the phase rhythm is even slower. So what I'm saying is the contrast between those two rhythms is even greater in meet competitions. So often the thing to do to get to jump really well in meet situations is help them understand the difference in contrasting those two particular rhythms. That makes sense to you? Okay. All right, so basically I'm just trying to get these guys to relax a little more, because I think they can all jump a little further if they just didn't try so hard, okay? So build momentum here and just push and stay relaxed the rest of the way. It's not really bad, guys, it's just a little, okay? Go ahead and give it a try. That was dramatically better. Another great improvement. Another good job here on the first two. On the second two, we still were getting a little bit too much knee lift on the switch and too much pushing. When you make the switch from right to left, don't jack the knee up quite so high and quite so hard. Okay? Yeah. No, hold on. Now, we kind of got them going now. Okay, now, that's part of the coaching is typically foot contacts and trajectories and relaxation. The third part is free leg positioning. The position of the free leg dictates pelvic posture and dictates whether or not we experience forward rotation. So I teach trajectory to fix rotation. The other thing I use to fix rotation is the free leg positioning. So what I do is I talk to them about keeping the free leg straighter, because of the longer lever, you know, the idea of swinging the leg in an extended position. And I'll also talk to them sometimes about keeping the free leg more in front of them if they're getting more rotated, over-rotated. The point I'm making is this, is that the free leg swing in any one of these phases needs to be symmetrical with respect to a vertical axis, meaning that I'm going to start the swing from behind me and it finishes in front of me. So there's a back side and a front side. And when you have kids that are experiencing too much forward rotation in these types of exercises, typically the back side is increased and the front side is diminished. So in just a general sense, I typically will talk to them about feeling the free leg more in front. The only problem is in this situation, these guys have it, their swing is pretty symmetrical and it looks pretty good. The thing that they don't have in some situations is the extended position of the leg, okay? But kind of keep an eye for this swing and look for the symmetry that I'm looking for. Okay, go ahead. Okay, now it was a little flex, so I'm just going to ask him to try to keep it a little straighter on the left over here, just as a little bit of an experiment. When you, on these last two, I want you to keep the right leg straighter. Okay?
So
I'm sorry, my bad.
Left leg,
no, I used the wrong leg, excuse me. On these last two, I want you to keep the left leg a little straighter, the free leg, okay? As you're swinging, I want you to keep it a little straighter position, okay? That's a pretty good swing. The leg was fairly straight all the way through. Swing was fairly symmetrical. Now what I'd like you to try this time is when you make the switch from right to left, instead of picking up the knee, I want you to swing the leg in an extended position. Right. I've asked him to swing the leg in an extended position when he makes the right to left switch here. Fixed it perfectly. Really nice. Very good. And then once he gets used to it a couple times, he'll start getting more projection because now the quadricep is in position to contribute elastically and so forth. Go ahead and give it another try. It's good. Did it get straighter? I couldn't really see from here. Good. That's really nice. See, the trajectory is ascended the whole way. Okay, one more time. Good. The only thing is down here you're trying to speed things up when it should actually be more powerful and slower. Each of y'all guys do one more rep. So basically that's what I'm looking for. Foot contacts, which typically take care of themselves. Free leg positioning and the symmetry of the swing, and trajectories, making sure that the trajectories ascend as we progress. Okay, now that time the free leg got a little too far out in front, which is something I had over-cued, so that's why it looked kind of funny on these last two. Could have been straighter on these first two. That's very good. Still not enough, okay? An improvement, but not enough, okay? Now, and this is the single most remedial horizontal jump series I have, and we start doing this from day one. Some people might say, well, it's too intense, you know, you ought to do this first or whatever. I have to start doing it from day one personally because I felt like if I don't start doing this kind of stuff from day one, at least some repetitions, then I'm behind schedule as far as technical development is concerned. So we'll start doing this typically like every Monday, you know, from the very onset of training. Now, once they kind of get this down, after about a training cycle, I'll progress to a series of horizontal exercises that's more demanding. And I'm going to take them through this right now. Okay, this is like our intermediate level of horizontal bounding stuff. Let's go ahead and take it back, guys. They're all similar to the double-double. It's just different exercise choices. And as far as actual differences in the mechanics, there really are none. It's just different exercises that are a little bit more intense. Okay, what I'd like y'all guys to do, line up out on that first triple jump board. And again, where all of these jumps are going to come from a standing start. And the first thing I want you to do is 3 right-legged hops. Now this 3 right-legged hop exercise gives you a great opportunity to look at free leg symmetry. Okay. First of all, it was overactive. Secondly, every time he drove the left leg, it was too much knee oriented. So I want you to keep the free leg straighter and be a little more patient and calm. Okay. And he also led with the knee too much. So I'm going to ask for a straighter free leg and again, a little calmer performance there, a little less. Okay, and there you get no sense of pushing really, and again, too much flexion in the free leg. So I want you to feel more vertical projection rather than horizontal, and I want you to keep the left leg straight. Okay, let's try it again. Didn't see much change there. Okay, straight left leg. That was overdone on number 1. Okay, but number two and number 3, he timed it up pretty good. Okay, sometimes you cue radically and you overshoot. Okay, but self-adjustment. Okay. That was better. It was better. I thought that you swung here and then you picked it up real quickly. Just leave it down there. Okay. All right. Let's so we don't beat ourselves up too bad. Next exercise is 3 lefts. So just switch legs. 3 left-legged hops. Brain fart. Okay. Remember, keep the right leg straight. That was very good, except for the catching your foot on the. It was very good. Okay, still a little bit of a tendency to want to sit and get the knee up. Okay, so remember we're keeping leg low, leg straight, hips high. Okay. You're getting it. You're just not making a radical enough change. Okay, now the right leg thing was very uncomfortable to him, but he did get the general gist of it. Okay, so I'm going to pat him on the back and say, good job, do it again. Okay, pretty good. Now, one of the things that he consistently has as a problem is pushing out too low on the very first jump. His standing long jump just isn't very good. He drops the chest. That's why the first one always looks a little weird, then he gets into pretty good rhythm afterwards. That's pretty good, though. Okay. Again, still very quick. I want you to feel like you're actually pushing into the ground a little more. Okay. Yeah. Don't ever bring the feet up high. Never bring the feet up. Okay. All right. So you've done that twice? Yeah. Okay. Next exercise in this series is a double-double, like what we did before. So I want you all, and you must go right, right, left, left, regardless of your leg preference, okay? So back up to that board. Right, right, left, left. Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. And keep it, by now you're probably getting the idea that because of the variances, the different things that we're doing, they give you opportunities to coach different things. Like the leg switch on a double-double is a real good opportunity to teach the move from hop to step. You know, the leg symmetry is easier coached when you do repetitive hops with the same leg, you see. So different exercises give you an opportunity to address different things. Okay, right, right, left, left. Not bad, a little overactive, but it was okay. Trajectories were good. Free leg was a little too flexed, but it was okay. The trajectories got all screwed up, huh? Yeah, we went really high on one and then we kind of crashed. The rights were very good. Lefts are still, you're trying to cycle through too quickly on the lefts, okay? I want you to jump higher off of the lefts. Not bad. A little calmer, softer contacts. Nicely done. That's much better. All right, we're working up in the C range now. Good shot. Okay, even more radical though.